What's up, everybody? Welcome once again to SkinClub community and YouTube channel. My name is Peacemaker, and today I'm gonna walk you through everything you need to know about Blast Open London 2025, from the teams participating to the tournament format. Also, we're gonna be obviously talking about our favorites, and with that, we're gonna obviously do our tier list, which I guess if you guys are watching my videos in the platform, I always love to do the tier list, comparing the teams and trying to predict who are the favorites, who should be the champion or not. And I would say our success rate is pretty high usually. So if you are into betting, for example, or if you like this type of content, you should definitely take a look on my predictions for this. And also, we're gonna be doing the fantasy game together with HLTV in partnership with SkinClub. I'm going to be selecting my players and who do I think is going to do great in this particular tournament. So to begin with, we have all the informations on the left side of your screen. Tournament will happen from 27th of August until the 1st of September. This first phase, right, because we have the finals as well from the 5th of September to the 7th of September, 4 days after this is over, right? If I'm not mistaken, or we'll see. But what I do know is that in this first phase of the tournament, there's going to be 16 teams participating. Everything happens online. Here we have the groups with Vitality, M80, Gamer Legion, Virtus Pro, FaZe, Ecstatic, Navi, and Fnatic. You also can see all the matchups. And then we have Group B with Mouse, Imperial, G2 Liquid, Spirit, FlyQuest, Furia, and Legacy. To be honest, comparing both of the groups, I would say that the Group B seems a lot harder. Like, honestly, we don't know what to expect from Imperial, but we certainly know that G2 has been playing great. Liquid has improved significantly after the beginning of the second season. Spirit, a little shaky. We don't know what to expect because some of the players were sick in the last tournament at Esports World Cup. So we don't know if they recovered. They have a long flight all the way to Europe in order to play this event. And then there's FlyQuest as well. And then we have Furia and Legacy. Furia coming from a period of practice without playing any tournaments. Legacy, who is also still getting used to playing this big event. Imperial, who's been out of the scene for quite some time now, playing online in Brazil, just grinding, trying to get points. Now they're finally back on LAN, and it's a very important tournament for them because if they do great here, if they're able to pull an upset or play great and beat or take maps out of these good teams, that would help them tremendously to guarantee 100% their spot at the next major. So for these teams, it's very important, especially for teams like FlyQuest, Liquid, who are hungry for points in order to qualify to the major. And we can say the same thing for the teams from the Group A, right? M80, who is competing as well for a major spot, Gamer Legion, Ecstatic, Fnatic, all those teams are hungry for these points. And what an opportunity, right? For a team like Ecstatic, for example, having their opening game against FaZe Clan with a new lineup with the addition of Jacob online, right? Definitely a team that has been struggling both on an individual level and as a team. And what a great opportunity for a team like Ecstatic to maybe pull an upset and shock the world. Personally, do I think it's going to happen? No. Is it possible? Yes, 100%. Especially when it comes to FaZe Clan playing online after everything we just watched in the past few tournaments. Same thing we can say about Navi, who's been struggling playing against a Fnatic that is playing significantly good online lately, and they definitely have the firepower and potential with this lineup, right? They have an upcoming good in-game leader. They have Cypher, who performed really well in majors before. Crims, the veteran of the team and very experienced. Jumbo and Blamef. It's a pretty good roster, and I think that they certainly could potentially surprise. Do I think it's going to happen again? Probably not, especially when it comes to Makaze playing online, no pressure, Navi. Yes, they did struggle lately, not going to lie, but they didn't struggle against the likes of Fnatic, a team that barely played, big events in this past couple of months. So I think it's one thing if you watch Navi against the best teams in the world and you see that they're struggling, and that's going to be a completely different story if we see Navi is struggling against the likes of Fnatic, Ecstatic, and those type of teams. If that happens, then yeah, then we can for sure expect that it's not going to take too long until Blade changes the roster, right? But anyway, so we talked about the groups. We briefly spoke about some of the matches. We have the tournaments, the teams here. And just by taking a look at the teams, we definitely see that there are some teams missing, right? The Mongols, for example, who just won Esports World Cup. We have Aurora missing as well, right? And some of the top teams are not participating in this. I guess we can quickly take a look on the ranking just so we get a better perspective. Yeah, Falcons missing as well. Playing Gaming, who's usually playing these events as well. They are not participating. Actually, Imperial took their spot, right? Because they declined the invite or something like that. We have no Asian teams, right? Usually Tyloo is representing Asia. They are not playing in this event. 3D Max, Astralis, some good teams, but definitely the ones that, you know, we have to remember is the Mongols, Aurora, and Falcons, right? Those three teams. And Aurora as well for making it to the finals, right? Aurora, the Mongols, Falcons, these three teams are the ones that could definitely do some damage in this particular event. But anyway, moving on, we get to do our fantasy. Blast Open London 2025 online part. And before we do the fantasy, let me guide you through how it works, right? So most picked players, these are the most drafted players in HLTV League. How the points are calculated, players earn points for their individual performance and from results of their respective teams. Points are given as base points, team points, bonus for their performance, and bonus for succeeded boosters assigned by you. And these are the roles and the boosters, and we can select that ourselves, which is what I'm going to do right now in this video. And well, I'm not used to doing this. This is actually one of the first times that I'm doing this on a video, so pardon me if I do any mistakes, but let's do it. So I guess we should click on play now. Then we're gonna join the league itself. My team is gonna be called Peacemaker CS2, and then I'm gonna choose my lineup. To make sure that this video is not too long, I already took a look at the players and kind of did some thinking on what I think I should be doing here. So I guess I'm just gonna tell you guys the story and why I selected these players. And my first player, I mean, mainly what I'm gonna try to do here is to build a lineup with players that I think that obviously they're gonna do great. Their teams might win the first games or will at least, at the very least, go far in the tournament, right? With that said, I guess we can start off by picking the absolute best player in the world. Very expensive. I know some people will call me crazy because there goes a lot of my budget already, but I just have to pick Donk, the absolute beast that I personally think there's no wrong with this. Like, there is for sure a lot of points coming my way unless somehow Spirit loses to FlyQuest and this guy doesn't perform. But what I do expect instead is that this guy carry us on in the first opening game of Spirit, completely demolating FlyQuest. Hopefully that's what happens. Moving on, I'm gonna pick a player from, I'm gonna pick Silver One from Team Furia. And then I'm gonna choose player that often has a lot of impact and that can also give me a lot of points. Considering that Furia plays Legacy in their first game, whether they win or lose, I think this guy is just gonna do great no matter what. And maybe they will win. And if they win, considering the groups, I think it's certainly the hardest group. But I still think that this guy is capable of putting up good performances just like he did at the major, being one of the best players at the last major we had, a guy that constantly has been proving himself once again, and that guy is Yekindar. Yekindar is my second choice for my team. And then moving on, we need at the center an IGL. And between the IGLs, I have to choose one that I think his team is going to do great, and he has potential firepower wise to also do damage. With that comes the likes of Brolin. I don't think Alex Sib is in a good situation right now with this roster, so it's a tough one. Fallen for $192,000 could be an interesting option. Kerrigan, not so sure. I think he has a lot in his mind right now. I don't think he's going to focus on his individual performance that much. And I don't know what to expect from FaZe either. G2 with Hunter, definitely an interesting choice. Electronic. Then we have ZTR from Gamer Legion, another interesting option. We have Lux from Legacy. And then we have Shuey from Liquid, who's been doing great lately. On FlyQuest, I believe the IGL is INS, right? INS. M80, Fnatic. Who's IGLing for Fnatic? It's Fear, right? To be honest, Fear shows a lot of weak points. To be honest, I don't feel comfortable going on him. And then we have Vinny from Imperial. Between these guys, with no more wasting time, I'm going to go for Shuey, guys. I think Shuey has the experience. Their team is doing great. They are improving significantly tournament after tournament. And I think they arrive to Blast in very good, with confidence and in a very good momentum as a team, considering how close they are of beating some of the best teams in the world. With that said, let's go with Shuey, and then we're gonna go for some bronze players as well. Another bronze player. Players that comes to my mind is definitely someone like Wisher from M80, for example, Netic, who is a very talented guy from FlyQuest, but I think they're going to get destroyed in the opening game. We have these two guys from Legacy, but I want to choose a guy from Fnatic simply because I think Fnatic has a lot of potential of surprising people in the tournament, especially considering they play against Na'Vi. And my guy will be a guy that already played a major, played really, really well, and hopefully he delivers and does it again. Cypher, come to my team, definitely has the firepower. If he has a good day and he's playing up to his standards, I think he's certainly capable of doing damage. There we already have a lot of riflers, right? I have no AWP on my team. Do I continue this list without an AWPer? The answer is yes. And do I have an option to pick an AWPer at all? Like I could potentially pick Brookie. How much do I have? I have 200,000, right? So I could potentially pick Brookie. I could pick one of the G2 players as well. Sampaios could be an option. Very interesting one, to be honest. We already have a player from Liquid. Should I go for Sampaio? Who do they play against? I'm confused now. They actually play Liquid, right? And if they lose, they play Imperial. Then they would face... it looks like a very interesting run for G2, to be honest. Like, if they drop, even if they drop in the mouse game, for example, or if they lose to Liquid, I think the only real big challenge they would have in this group would be Furia if somehow they lose the game and then they face each other in the upper final. But they're still capable of beating Furia, right? They already did it. So honestly, kind of want to go for Sampaios here and have an AWP on my team. There you go. So we have Sampaios as an AWPer for 197,000. I could make an upgrade here for 180 if there is any player that costs 180 that is better than Cypher, for example. Or I could do an upgrade on Shuey or an upgrade on Yekindar. Actually, I'm pretty happy with these three. My only question would be Cypher for a player that costs 180. Let's see on this list if there are any that we immediately take a look at and say, yeah, this is the guy. Sin, not really. Netic, not really. Huey is already there. And I think the answer is no. I don't think there's anybody for 180 that would be worth it. Alexiv is more expensive than that. Yeah, I mean, this is it. This has to be it, right? So we have a golden player, 2 silvers, and 2 bronze players on my team. That left us with 3,000 on the budget. I'll buy my team. Now assign roles, right? Assigning roles, Let me see. This is attacker. His side rating, max bonus above 130. Yeah, he has there you can see also the percentages, right? Which one gives me the highest percentage that he will deliver, especially in this game. I think multi-fragger is a pretty good option, or attacker. Actually, let's go for attacker, as 19% of the matches. Assign this role to him. And then for Yekindar, we can go for headshot machine, maybe. Yeah, let's go for that. Headshot machine. Huey is the IGL of the team, so we're probably going to go for that, right? That's what makes majority of the sense. Entry fragger, 52% of the games. Let's go for IGL, leader. Then we have Cypher with the support entry frag. Yeah, this is our guy. And then we have Sampaios as an opper, right? Opper has to be camping, I would say, right? That is what he... Main op. Let's go for main op. Yeah. Main op. There you go. So main op, entry fragger, leader, headshot machine, and attacker. We have no support. Good luck with that. And then we can add boosters. And I think I'm going to actually add a booster to Donk because they play against FlyQuest in their first game. And I think there is a very high chance that he will be the top of scoreboard. For sure. He's very good with the pistols as well. Kobe, Mr. Consistent. Wow. He's... Carry. 20 or more kills. I think this is a good one, to be honest. I don't know, maybe Shiro is above him, but Carry, I definitely can see him taking 20 or more kills on a map. Boom. There you go. In terms of boosts, I think I'm going to leave it at that for now. Even though there's plenty of boosts, but we will have a chance to add more boosts in their next games, right? So, unless there's anything really interesting for Sampaios, Avenger, yeah, not really. Let's leave it like that, right? I think Furia plays a close game against Legacy. Anything could happen in this particular game with the Fnatic as well. Yeah, let's leave it like that for now. And yeah, there you go. That's my team. And now, moving on, let's wrap up the video with our tier list. And the way this works is obviously, I think you guys are used to this, right? But basically, we're going to be choosing who do we think are the favorites. And let me just do like, actually, let me just put my camera all the way in the bottom here. That's going to be a lot better because now we can make my cam a little bit bigger and we can start. So there we have our tiers. We have champions, playoffs, good performances, upside potential, and no chance. No chance mean literally vacation time in London. And between these teams, do we actually believe either like any of them is going for vacation in London? The answer is yes. But I'm going to tell you guys in a few seconds. First, let's think of good performances. Who do I think will have good performances but might not make it to the playoffs, but do have good performances overall? I am going to say that Liquid is probably that type of team right now. I think they will definitely perform great, and maybe they won't make it to the playoffs. And I think it's 3 teams that goes through, right? So we have to choose, let's just make sure. We have to choose 6 teams in total. Right, so group winners advance to LAN semifinals. Second and third advance to LAN semifinals. So 3 teams from each group, which makes it 6 teams in total. All right, cool. So we have 5 teams in playoffs and a winner. That's what we should aim for. All right. I guess it's easier if we just choose the playoff teams right now. And playoff teams in my books will be Spirit, Vitality, Mouse, Furia. I think Furia is going to make it. Or do I put Legacy? Ooh, that's a close one. Close and tough one. Really close, really tough. I think I'm gonna put G2 with the. I think they played pretty solid. Do I put Navi online? That's a very hard one. VP played pretty good lately. Likewise, M80, Fnatic, Ecstatic, Imperial. Do I actually believe any of these guys can do it? But I kind of want to go for the two Brazilians here. I kind of want to go for Fury and Legacy, to be honest. Like, I really don't trust Navi and FaZe right now, considering what happened. But now he playing online, maybe that's the key. You know, Makazi will carry them over. Maybe them playing at home is going to be better. Play against a pretty good team in the first game. It's a really, really tricky one. Not going to lie. Very tricky one. I think one of them might make it. Let's go for Furia in the playoffs. And let's go for Who do we like? Group B. Let's take a look on Group B again. So from Group B, 100% Mouse, and then Spirit as well. Then we cannot have two Brazilians, right? Mouse will make it, Spirit will make it, and then G2 will make it, or Furia, right? So Mouse will make it, Spirit will make it, and G2 or Furia. Therefore, we cannot have... Or actually, if we put these two here, there's a high chance that we hit three of them. So I'm going to leave it like that, even though I know one of them is going to be wrong. But that's just how it is. Then from Group A, we have Vitality 100%. And then we just have to put Navi, to be honest. Like, if Navi doesn't go through in a group like this, it's literally the end of the world. Like, we have to put Navi here. And then there you go, right? We would have, almost certain we would have two teams from Group A going through and two teams from Group B going through. Unless a fucking miracle happens. And do you guys believe in miracles? I do. But anyway, champions, we will select that in the future. Good performances. I think VP is going to be that type of team. Legacy is going to be that type of team. I think Fnatic is going to be that type of team. Between them, there's a few upside potential teams as well. Game Edition is going to be that type of team. Or, yeah. I'm going to put FaZe on upside potential, surprisingly or not, but they are certainly capable of upsetting, but I don't think they're going to do great. Honestly, I just don't expect them to do great. I think M80 or FlyQuest is that type of team with upside potential. And then we have these three teams here who I have to choose two teams for the no chance tier at the very minimum. And consider the last few performances, considering who they play against in the group they are. I'm going to say Imperial is one of them. And is Ecstatic in this group as well? Yeah, they play against FaZe. They can definitely upset. You know, that's why we're going to put them on upside potential, and I'm going to put M80 on this list. They play against Vitality, then they have a rough game against either... the loser of this game as well, Game Edition VP, who honestly, I could definitely see M80 going 0-2 in this tournament. So I'm just going to go M80 on no chance. Upside potential, good performances, and then we have to choose our champion to wrap up the video. And who do you think is going to win? Honestly, if there's nobody sick or anything like that, I think Spirit wins the tournament. They look very solid. Yes, they struggled in the Esports World Cup. Well, not World Cup, Esports. The tournament in Saudi Arabia, whatever. I forgot the name now. They struggled in that one, but still, I think they should have it, right? If it's not them, I would say Mouse would be my second favorite. Because the way Vitality is playing right now, like, I certainly think they lose to Spirit. They can lose to Mouse. You know, Furia could potentially upset Vitality right now. I don't know, man. I don't know. They definitely don't look solid right now. But between Mouse and Spirit, I think both of them beat Vitality in a grand final right now. And then in a grand final between Spirit and Mouse, who knows what would happen, but I still go for Spirit winning the tournament. And there you have it. So we have our tier list. We did our fantasy as well. We talked about the tournament. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was a long one, but it was a much needed one. I hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys next time. Cheers.